watching Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. Oh, this place is buzzing. Let me tell you, it's buzzing in studio. We've got theater people in the green room, so you know there's like chitter chatter going crazy. I'm a theater guy, so that's, I understand. We are going to start today's show with some kids you may recognize because they've been on the show before, along with their wonderful teacher, Maria, because this is called the Social Entrepreneurship Program, and it is with the Ottawa Catholic School Board, and I am joined by Maria Babineau, their teacher. Welcome. Great to have you back here. And then we have Amy, Bea, Rebecca, and Wes. I remembered it's a miracle, an early Christmas miracle. Welcome to you all. Great to have you back. So, Maria, let's first of all talk about this social entrepreneurship program and the mission behind it.
Yeah, so the OCSB Social Entrepreneurship Program, it's a deep learning opportunity, and it's where schools, they choose a social issue, and they meet with business mentors, and they build a social enterprise, and we chose to support the charity Ronald McDonald House.
Nice.
And it's also this great opportunity for students where they realize that they can be change makers with just their amazing, innovative ideas.
So is it throughout the school? So different classes, do they choose different organizations to support? Is that the idea?
Yeah, so far this year, there's 77 classes that have signed up throughout 44 schools.
That is amazing. Well, I have specific questions here for the kids, so I've got to make sure I read them properly. So, Amy, we're starting with you. Last year, you made these portable gaming carts. I remember you were on the show for Ronald McDonald House. Can you remind us what the Ronald McDonald House is and about these gaming carts?
Yes, so Ronald McDonald House is a place where sick children and their families can stay while they're at the hospital. And the RMH gaming carts are portable gaming carts that we created for sick kids to play, learn memories, and share with their families while at Ronald McDonald House.
So is this one of the carts here?
Yes.
This is the idea. Okay, so let's get a little bit of a close-up on that as we talk about it. So, Bea, this is what I want to know. Did you get to actually deliver the carts, and did you meet any of the kids?
Yes, we took a bus all the way to Ronald McDonald House and gave them the gaming carts. They gave us a tour of the house and popsicles as pens as a gift. It was so much fun.
Nice, I love it. Rebecca, you also received a certificate from the House of Commons. Tell me how this all happened.
We invited MP Jenna Suds to come and visit our class. Then we did a presentation for her and showed her RMH gaming cart project. Then she gave us a certificate from the House of Commons with our full name on it.
Very nice. Look at the memories, of these young people. At 54, I can't memorize. Actually, we have Canterbury High School on the show today, so they're probably very impressed with you guys right now because you've memorized all of these answers. So, Wes, you're next. And Wes, by the way, was doing some dancing in front of the cameras earlier. I don't see any dancing now, Wes. What's going on over there? Wes, did you get to, I asked this before, but you got to meet the kids. I want to know, though, what the experience was like for you guys, personally. What was that like to meet some of the kids?
It was great to meet all of the kids. And yeah.
And that's it. No details. That's all I get from you.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, but I mean obviously it's a special experience, right? Because you're helping somebody.
Yeah, and we invited them to our class, and we played ball hockey and Minecraft with them.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, hand the microphone back down the line here, and we will go back to Amy. So, Amy, I hear you're doing a new project. Tell me about this. It's called Kindness Kits this year. Tell me about the Kindness Kits.
So the Kindness Kits are little bags filled with necessities for the kids to grab and bring with them to the hospital while they're at Ronald McDonald House.
That is a great idea. Next question is for Bea. What will the Kindness Kits have in them? Walk me through what we can find in some of these.
So there will be snack kits with chips and goldfish. There will be care kits with toothbrushes, toothpaste, and lip balm.
Okay.
And finally, there will be activity kits with poppets, stickers, and coloring books.
So, Rebecca, all of this obviously takes money. So how do you manage to raise money to build these kits and build these portable units?
We're selling hot chocolates like we did last year. We're selling them every Thursday for 4 weeks. Each hot chocolate will cost $2 so we can get money for the Kindness Kits. We made this for you. Would you like to try it?
You made me a hot chocolate? Fantastic. All right, I'm going to put that right here. McDonald's, we need a sponsorship, so give me a call. We also have another question for Russ. So what about money raised so far? How much money have you raised so far?
We raised a total of $1,520.81 for this year.
Amazing. Congratulations on that. Back to you, Maria. So who comes up with the idea of who you decide to support?
So the one thing that's really cool about this is that it's like so student driven. Like at the beginning of the school year, the students, they came up to me and they said, hey, can we continue the project? And I said, well, I don't teach you guys this year, so you would have to meet at lunch recess, like during your recess time. And right away, they were willing to sacrifice their lunch recess just to see this project keep going. And they came up with the ideas of like, okay, let's make the posters. How are we going to sell the hot chocolates? How much are we going to cost? Like Wes and another wonderful student, Sahar, they actually calculated how much it should cost, how much loan we should ask for. They did all the math. So it's really just their ideas and they're making this project happen. It's just so wonderful to see the students collaborate and make this project come
Well,
alive.
and you're looking at next generation of volunteers too, right? You know, we're a great city of volunteers, and you know, to see that young people are starting, I think that's why this program is so incredibly important. Wes, I want to tell you about, what does your family think? Like, you know, when you told them that you were doing a project like this, what did your family say to you?
Good job, Wes.
Yeah, I could imagine.
That's what they said.
Let's pass it down back to Rebecca here. Yeah. So Rebecca, you guys are all obviously involved in this. You're giving up your recess and lunch hours and doing that sort of. But outside of doing this, what other interests do you have?
I like to play basketball, and I like to do skiing.
Nice. Downhill skiing?
Yeah.
Very good. How about you, Bea?
I like to do rock climbing and sometimes speed climbing.
What is speed climbing?
It's like rock climbing, but like climbing up like really fast.
Okay, and what do you, is there like a bell up there and you smack it when you get up?
So like at this place I go rock climbing to, they have these speed climbs, and there's like this platform. When you press it, it like shows it pauses the time, and it shows you how many seconds it took
What's
for
your
you to get to the
fastest?
top. 7 seconds and 52 milliseconds.
What? Holy cow! All right, Amy, what do you do when you're not working on projects and schooling?
I play a sport called canoe kayak sprint, and I also play volleyball.
Canoe kayak sprint. So I just
Yes.
interviewed an Olympic athlete that does canoe kayak sprint, like just a couple of months ago. Do you have any aspirations of taking this further, like being an Olympian one day?
I mean, I guess it's like a dream to be an Olympian.
Yeah. Wes, let's pass it, because I didn't ask Wes what do you love to do, Wes?
I normally play soccer when I get home and just do chores.
Do chore.
Yeah.
Kids,
Gotta clean the house.
are you listening? Use this as an example right here. Maria, you must be so proud that these kids came back to you to ask you to do something like this again. So is this something they do then throughout the rest of the school year? They'll continue to raise funds and put together these kits?
Yeah, so as Wes said, we already raised over like $1,500. So what's going to be cool is we're going to take that money and we're going to purchase a lot of products for the activity kits, care kits, snack kits. The goal would maybe be to travel to Ronald McDonald House, deliver the kits, and just kind of see where this project continues to go. So.
Well, congratulations to you all. You're doing something absolutely special for some kids that are in great need, and their families too, right? Not just the kids themselves. These are amazing kids. I said it on social media. There's too many negative stories sometimes about young people. They're doing incredible things. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
A catastrophic humanitarian crisis is unfolding in Lebanon. Children and families have been killed. Thousands of civilians have lost their homes, and it's estimated that more than 1 million people have been forced to flee. The 12-member agencies of the Humanitarian Coalition are providing life-saving relief, but more aid is urgently needed. You can help. Please donate today at together.ca. Your donation will be matched by the Government of Canada, the Humanitarian Coalition. Together, saving more lives.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Eastboro Designs. Eastboro Designs, designing a bold lifestyle through functionality and beauty. As you can probably tell, I get a little hyper talking to young people, and that doesn't end right now because we're both young at heart. Daniela Croco, host and chef. She's got her own show right here on Rogers TV called Simply Cooking by Chef. She has just returned from her 458th concert of the Hanson Brothers. I don't know how you do it. It's unbelievable. You've got to be the biggest. Like, are you like one of the top? Do they know that you're like in the top 10 fans of all time?
Absolutely. Probably like in the top 5 or 6.
Really?
There are fans that have seen them much more than I have and travel much more than I do, who don't have their own businesses and real lives. But yes, I just came back from California last night. So much fun. And you know, now we're heading in. It was warm where I was, and now it's cold. So we're heading into the holiday season.
We are.
I thought I would take a little holiday and to give myself a little break, because now until the new year is my busiest time of year with holiday parties, corporate events, you know, just Christmas time and holiday time and all that stuff. So I thought that
along with all the other things you're already doing,
exactly,
right?
like my regular clients and all of the other things. So I thought today we would do one of my favorite entertaining salads. Not a salad that entertains us. Like Derek thought.
I was so excited that we'd have a salad that'd be dancing on here, you know?
But,
like that frog ribbit.
A salad that is like, well, I don't know, like, you know, we're neurodivergent people have like a hyperfixation of something that you eat a lot for certain amounts of time. So this salad is something that I've been eating a lot lately and recommending to clients a lot lately. We'll talk about the different versions of it. But before the break, I just put on some quinoa to cook. So it's going to be like a quinoa salad with a whole bunch of different flavors and textures. We've got apples, radicchio, cabbage. We've got onion and dates. We've got goat cheese, a couple different types of nuts. It's a beautiful salad to impress your guests that doesn't really take a lot of work. There are quite a bit, a few components to it, but it comes together really easily, and it's really impressive.
Nice.
So I love that.
I like to hear.
And just to go along with that, because, you know, it is the holiday season, and it's the season of cocktails and mocktails and all that. So I thought that we could enjoy one of my favorite little mocktails while we make this salad.
I am game.
So we have some fresh rosemary from my garden here. If you, Derek, want to like take some sprigs off and put them in the glass.
You got it,
We've got some grapefruit slices on the bottom there. I love the flavor of grapefruit and rosemary. It's something that sounds weird, but actually it goes so well together.
You know that I trust you. I don't even think it's weird because I trust you.
So I'm just we're squirting it everywhere.
It's live television.
It's live
this
TV.
is what happens.
So we're squirting the grapefruit in the bottom of the glass.
All right.
We've got some fresh rosemary. Then I'm going to actually put in a pinch of salt. The salt is going to take away the little bit of bitterness from the grapefruit.
Okay.
And it's really going to bring the flavor of the rosemary out.
All right, what do we
And then
got
we're just
here?
going to put some sparkling
just
water
some
on
regular
there.
sparkling water,
So
okay.
this is a mocktail, so we're just using sparkling water. But if you wanted to make this a non-mocktail, you could put some vodka, some gin, or you could skip that completely and you could use some Prosecco or like a sparkling
that would be
wine
nice.
to go in there.
Oh, I'm going to try that. That's
And we're
a
gonna
great
we're
idea.
gonna taste together.
Okay.
Cheers.
Here's to you. To the holidays, everybody. Right around the corner.
Delicious, right around the corner. Okay, so like I said, we have this quinoa cooking.
Oh my goodness, that's good.
Is it good? You enjoy it?
Really good,
And like
yeah.
it's not salty.
No, not at
but
all.
it's not
But
bitter.
you're right. It
It's
did the
not bitter.
perfect job taking away the bitterness. I
So
love it.
I have the quinoa cooking here, and the premise is that the quinoa is going to go on the bottom of the platter.
Okay.
And then we're going to like build the salad on top of the quinoa.
Gotcha.
So you could use another grain. You could use
Right,
things
yeah, of
like
course.
millet or rice or whatever, but quinoa is my
It's your go-to?
It's my go-to.
Or that's what you had in your pantry?
That's what I had in my pantry. I did get home late last night.
I know you by now.
I
That's what I
opened
love
up my
about
fridge.
having you. I've told you that I don't know how many times. It's just she gets home, right, from a long day or maybe a trip to go see Hanson for the 5,000th time, and she looks in her fridge and she goes, "Oh, I have an idea for Derek," and she brings it on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This way I don't have to spend any money. I don't have to waste anything. You know, everyone has ingredients in their fridge that like had a plan, but then they like die there. You know, so it's nice.
My bok choy is yelling at you right now, going, "Hey, what about us?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I had this radicchio from before I went on the trip, and there it was in the bottom of the drawer. So I thought that I
I'm
would.
so glad I'm not alone in that. And that's a true story, by the way, about the bok choy, because I made one dish, and you know, when you get a bag of bok choy, it's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now it's just sitting there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And every time I open the fridge, it goes, "Hello."
You want to know
Remember
my
me?
favorite way to eat bok choy?
Yes.
Is to cut the ends off, mix it with some sesame oil, garlic powder, and roast it in the oven.
Honey, I have dinner plans for us.
So I'm making a little bit of dressing in the bottom of my bowl. It's my favorite way to do it. Then you don't have to have like a separate bowl for your dressing. You just put the dressing in the bottom of the bowl, and then you put all the ingredients on top. What's great about entertaining for that is that you can kind of pre-prep your salad and not have it go soggy.
Right.
Because you've got the dressing at the bottom.
Just
you
let
put
it
all
sit until you toss.
And then at that moment, you toss, right?
I love it.
So I've got a little bit of honey in there.
This is brilliant. Less dishes, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
This is why I love having you on the show.
I've got a little bit of honey in there. You could use maple syrup. You could use stevia if you're not a sugar person.
Yeah.
I just like a little bit of sweetness in this salad dressing in particular, especially when you have like a bitter green or lettuce, like a radicchio or an arugula or something like that. Then I'm going to do a splash of apple cider vinegar.
Use it in all my dressings.
I love apple cider vinegar.
too.
Not only is it delicious, but it also adds probiotics to your food.
It is very good for
and helps
you.
your little gut bugs
the
be better.
fermented food action going on in
And
the
then I'm
gut.
Italian, so I have to use balsamic.
Of course.
Because I mean, you know, and then
I've actually, I've got to admit,
let's turn that down.
Okay, I've gone balsamic crazy recently.
Have you?
I think I have like 4 different balsamics.
Nice.
right now.
I have a couple. I have like a 12-year one that's quite expensive that you
Yeah.
only use, and then I have like some reduction that I love to garnish or like
It's a little
drizzle.
thicker, you mean?
Yeah, super
Oh,
thick.
I love
Just
the
put on a
thick
little
stuff.
piece of bread with goat cheese or something like that.
I just bought on sale burrata.
Ooh.
Like a big thing
Yes,
of burrata cheese.
yes.
You put a little of that thick balsamic on that.
So
Hey?
later on, we're going to be putting goat cheese on this salad.
Okay.
But you could like cut a burrata and
Let
spread
the
it out all
creaminess.
over.
Hey, I know we're not done, but neither is Daniela. She'll be back for another segment right after this. We'll be right back after this break.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. One driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of Fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. Smoking weed affects reaction time and concentration. A message from Mad Canada.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Eastboro Designs. Eastboro Designs, designing a bold lifestyle through functionality and beauty.
Welcome back to the show, Daniela Croco. She is host and chef of Simply Cooking by Chef right here on Rogers TV. And if you've been watching all day, which you should, she was just on just before. Her show was just on before daytime. And she is still chopping away here. She never rests, folks.
No, never.
Never rests.
Actually, when I walked in and my show was on the TV, I was using this pot at that exact moment and thought, I'm using that again today.
Nice.
So on the break there, I chopped up some radicchio. I chopped up some celery.
Okay.
I love a good crunch of celery.
Me too.
I chopped up a shallot.
Yeah.
You could use a red onion or a green onion, and just you want a little bit of bite in there.
Right.
I chopped up a sweet apple.
Okay.
Because I love fruit and salad. Some people really are not fruit and salad kinds of people, but I
like
love
a
the
mix.
contrast.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
This one's a weird for some people, but I love it. We're gonna chop up some dates.
I love dates, and I'm not sure that I've ever put them in a salad.
So you know when you've had like a salad with dried cranberries or with raisins or something like that? This is the same like texture, but the flavor is much deeper than anything else. So we've got some chopped dates.
I miss my granny's date squares.
Oh, Grandma's date squares are so good.
Just the best.
You should just soak the dates and then like make like an oat crust or something like that and put it on there. So we're gonna check the quinoa. Quinoa's kind of almost coming along a little bit, so we've got our salad on top of there. And then I thought that real quick I would show a trick.
Okay.
So people love pomegranates.
Yes.
And now at the grocery store we buy them, or at Costco, like already done for us.
Because we're a lazy species.
And then some people like cut it in half and smack it and make a huge mess everywhere. Don't do that. And then some people cut it and then like cut the seeds and bruise it and there's juice everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, this is almost like a citrus fruit and it actually has segments.
Really?
So if you cut the top off and the bottom off, use a smaller knife at home, people. Don't be me.
Don't do this,
you open it up and you can actually see the segments.
Okay.
You see the lines there?
Yeah.
If you take your knife and you follow each segment, then...
You're so brave.
Watch this. It comes apart in little segments. The juice is not flying anywhere. There's no juice flying anywhere.
There's no bruising.
There's no bruising.
Yeah.
And then they just come off all so easily because they're already in the segments. A next level trick to this would be to do this in a big bowl of water.
Okay.
Because all of these little piths float right to the top, and all the seeds sink to the water. But we're on TV with no sink on set here,
right?
So I'm doing it without the water.
Don't worry, we do have water in the building, people.
Yes,
okay? Don't
yes,
panic.
just not here on the set.
We just don't have it here in the kitchen.
So anyway, I just thought that would be a really awesome trick because pomegranate seed is one of those things that can bring your salad or your charcuterie board right up to that next holiday level, right? We could even put a few seeds right in our drink and it would be a great garnish for that. We're gonna pretend that this quinoa is cooked all the way through.
I like to play pretend.
Because we're on TV right now, we're just gonna pull that off.
I'm a former actor. I can pretend with the best. Wow, look at that delicious looking quinoa that's already cooked.
We're just gonna pretend and put some cooked quinoa on the bottom of our platter here. We're gonna pretend that the whole pot is on there because we only have 16 minutes on TV, but at home you would have more than 16 minutes to do this. Then I'm going to use my tongs that I got under here and mix my radicchio, celery, apple, shallot in with that balsamic apple cider vinaigrette that I made earlier on the last segment. On the bottom of the bowl,
which is brilliant.
So this is really nice. Then today I brought some walnuts and pistachios, so you can choose which nut you would like to garnish with. And then pistachio. That's I would have chose that one too.
All right.
I love a good pistachio in a salad.
Got some goat cheese here.
Then we're going to. I like, you know, if all the quinoa was in there, it would be like a pile of quinoa that I would like make a well in. Almost, so that you could like see the quinoa on the outside.
Like a moat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you've got this beautiful salad there with all the different colors. Derek, you can sprinkle on the goat cheese.
Okay. Oh, you got to get your fingers in.
You got to get your fingers in because like goat cheese isn't like
clean
feta.
my hands, by the way, everybody at home, if you're wondering.
And then same with like just like the quinoa. It's not as much quinoa as you would use at home. Same with the pomegranate. I would probably put the whole pomegranate on, but I'm just doing this for.
Yeah, because it still takes a little while.
It's going to take me time to stand here and do that. Actually, my stepmom, when I was young, she would cut it into segments and put a piece of it in a bowl and hand it to me and like to keep me busy for 45 minutes.
Parents
in
at
front
home.
of if your kids like pomegranate, give it to them in a bowl and they can just sit there and go through it, right?
Heck, even if they don't like it. Just, you know, keep them busy,
Absolutely.
Right? It's like a food craft for them.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Look at that.
It's very nice. So you've got friends coming over for dinner. You don't know what to make. You want to impress them. Or it's holiday season and you're looking for a nice, like even like a potluck dish to bring. You could bring your dressing on the side and then have all of this ready to go. And then
I have a potluck dinner coming up on Sunday, and I'm supposed to bring the salad.
There you go.
This is the salad I'm going to make.
This is the perfect salad. Do you want me to make it for you?
Maybe.
So that's the thing. If you guys don't want to entertain or do this salad yourself,
this is true.
I do have about 6 dates left until New Year, between now and New Year, for dinner parties and events. So if you have someone in your group or in your family or even like at your work and you're looking to do something with your corporate team where someone has an allergy or a restriction and you're not sure what restaurant to go to or you don't really know what to feed them, have me come over and I can make it for them.
And she'll even clean.
Yes,
right?
I'll clean it up all.
She cleans up the kitchen and you're good to go. Chef.com, by the way, easiest place to find her. You can find her on Instagram as well at @chef. They can call you too?
They can definitely call me at 613-223-2293.
All right.
Absolutely.
So if I was going to do this salad for 20 people, that's how many people I have to feed.
Yes.
I'm going bigger than this, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
so
what am I doing, triple?
Yeah, well, this was like half a radicchio, 1 apple, 2 celery. You're going to want to like do the whole radicchio, all the quinoa, maybe 8 celery, you know, maybe 3 apples.
Jeez, I should be writing this down.
I'll write it down for you. I got you, Derek.
Hey, always a pleasure having you on the show.
As
I said, Simply Cooking by Chef was just on the air right before our show started, but it's all over the channel. Go to rogerstv.com to find out more, and of course our Ottawa 67s hockey as well. We show you all the games right here on the channel. We'll be back talking to the Ottawa Humane Society right after this.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves. Apparently, we're lazy.
And don't seem to have any sense of independence.
Actually, kids these days are facing a lot. Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
Get front row seats to Music and Beyond's unforgettable summer festival. Experience world-class concerts, mesmerizing performances, and much more. Music and Beyond presents a new season on Rogers TV.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, Squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
OHL on Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome back to the show. It is Adopt a Senior Pet Month at the Ottawa Humane Society, and I think you just got a quick look at Letty and this wonderful woman that's been on the show before. Jillian Lemieux is a marketing coordinator over there at the Ottawa Humane Society. Welcome back, Jillian.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Letty here. Tell us a little bit about the story behind Letty.
Yeah, so it is Adopt a Senior Pet Month, and it's the perfect time to talk about Letty because she is a senior cat. She's 10 years old.
Okay.
And at the OHS, we consider that a vintage cat.
Nice.
So what we've done, not just for Senior Pet Month, but permanently, we have removed the adoption fees for cats age 7+. So for Letty, if she's your perfect match, you would bring her home and you wouldn't pay any of the OHS adoption fees.
What a great incentive. And I guess the idea behind that, am I right in guessing that perhaps it takes a little longer sometimes to find a forever home for a senior pet?
Yeah, so kittens usually find their homes pretty quickly, but senior cats like Letty, they usually spend a little bit more time in the shelter. She's just
Cats
a little
are
bit
curious.
nervous.
No,
Yeah.
and they're curious. Don't worry, Letty. It's okay if you wander around.
Yeah.
So. At any given period, how many senior pets might you have in your care?
So it all depends on. There are a lot of different factors that it depends on. But right now we do have a few senior cats in our care, and they're all looking for their forever homes and just looking for their retirement homes.
Well, let's talk about that adoption process and how you even get that started.
Yeah, so you would start by going onto our website and finding a pet that you think might be a good match for you. All of that information, there's tons of animals on there, and you would submit an adoption application online. It's super easy to do. You just fill out some of your information, and our adoptions team will be able to take that information and really help you decide what kind of pet would be best for you.
Right.
If you have a specific pet in mind, you can name them, and they'll talk you through that animal's needs and go from there.
What sort of questions should you ask yourself? It's obviously if you're an individual, it's a little different than if you're a family. What kind of questions should you be thinking about?
Yeah, so that's a good point exactly. So kind of what your lifestyle is like, what your home environment looks like. Is it super busy, loud, noisy kids? Is it like quiet? Is it just you? So that might help you determine what kind of pet would be best for you. Also the time that you're able to dedicate, if it's like a super active dog who needs lots of attention versus a senior cat like Letty who maybe is a little bit more chill and doesn't need constant...
It might not seem that way right now, but Letty's in a new environment, right? And that often happens with pets. You bring them into a new environment and they get a little nervous, or they just want to explore.
Exactly.
You mentioned, something like a busy household. That just reminds me that we are moving up. We just talked to Daniela about the holidays are right around the corner. What are some things you should take into consideration if you have a pet at home and you're having a lot of friends and family over?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have some safety tips on our website specifically for the holidays. So with a busier time of year, it's maybe there's more people coming to visit, more parties happening. There are some safety precautions that you can take with your pet to make sure that they don't get lost or that they're not too stressed with everything going on. And one major part of that, just across the board, is to have your pets microchipped and make sure that the microchip information is up to date. So if they do end up, slipping out with the door opening and closing all the time, they'll be able to return home to you quickly.
It's a great reminder, because actually Daniela and I were going to talk about that. It slipped my mind. Her husband just found a cat that was abandoned, brought it in, didn't have a chip, right? And then they decided to take it home because they wanted to make sure that this cat had a forever home. So if you don't have a chip in your pet, that's always highly recommended.
Yeah,
right?
and
Just
we have microchip clinics at the OHS and in the community. So we have one coming up on December 1st, I believe, in Pet Value Orleans.
Okay.
So it's a great opportunity if you don't have your pet microchip to come get it done, get all your information on there.
You have a holiday season campaign that's going on right now that's incredibly important. Tell us why.
Yeah, so the holiday season, there's lots of pets just like Letty who don't have a home. Not every pet is lucky enough to have a home for the holidays. So we have, right now is a fantastic opportunity to help those animals through the holiday season and through the winter. If you make a gift right now, it'll actually be matched. So your impact will be doubled. So you donate $20, the animals will get $40. So you'll help twice as many animals get twice as much care that they need.
I was on your website last night, noticed that the fall auction that you have going on, it ends tomorrow. Tell everybody at home, maybe a couple of the things that you can find on that,
there's
on that auction.
Tons of great items on there for you and your pet. There's tons of pet gift baskets, different toys for your pets, and for yourself. There's some home decor, and the main big item is actually a trip to, or a stay in Las Vegas, which is really exciting. So a 7-night stay, and that's kind of the big ticket item. So you can get in on that action, and it's a great opportunity for doing some holiday shopping and checking some people off your list while helping the animals.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. Again, ends tomorrow at midnight. So make sure OttawaHumaneSociety.ca, and if you click on events, you'll find it there. Another thing I wanted to mention is, I've lost a pet in the past. I'm sure most of our viewers have, or they know someone that has, and it's a difficult time. And you have some virtual pet loss support groups going on right now, right?
Yeah. So that's one of our regular programs that we run. So it's completely free, and you're able to sign up. It's virtual, so maybe if you want to have your camera off, it's a little bit easier for people.
Right.
And we have professionals who will be able to help you kind of work through your grief, because losing a pet is losing a family member. It can be very, very tough. So we have those groups available for free to the public.
Last thing I wanted to mention is there's always volunteer opportunities available as well. Anything in particular looking for right now?
So right now we're mostly in particular looking for foster volunteers. So foster volunteers do so much for the animals, especially right now we are in the biggest need of fosters for larger dogs. So a lot of the dogs that come to the OHS, they're large breeds, they're kind of big, rambunctious, strong. They might.
So OttawaHumane.ca, right, to find out all that information. Thanks as always, Jillian. Really appreciate it. We'll be back with more Talking the Theatre right after this.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
We fought our way through Italy and then headed for Amsterdam, sweeping for Germans along the way. Our worst fear was to catch a bullet in these last hours of the war.
I was 15 when the Nazis invaded the Netherlands. More than 100,000 Dutch Jews never came home. Our men were put into forced labor. By 1945, we were starving. The food drops gave us hope. And then the Canadians came.
Before Amsterdam, I couldn't have explained why we were there, all those years away from home, but the Dutch showed us why it mattered.
Papa wanted me to bring some soldiers home to thank them personally, and that's when I first saw Wilf, and I invited him over that afternoon.
Marguerite Blaise married Lieutenant Wilf Gildersleeve. They moved to Vancouver, where they raised 8 children. Today, the Dutch still remember the Canadians who liberated them.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
As promised, we are back talking the theater. Actually, our last 2 segments on today's show, we're talking about a couple of fantastic theater productions, and we start with the Phoenix Players, their latest production coming up very shortly. I'm joined by 2 of the actors. Andre Benson joins me. Welcome back. Great to see you, Andre. And Adam Barrows, also an actor, first time here on the show. Welcome to you as well, Adam.
Thanks
Great to have you. Andre, let's talk about a little of the history of Phoenix Players.
Yeah, so Phoenix Player was founded in 2001. So it's been around for a while. It's actually a charity also. And we focus on putting on plays to bring, pleasure and entertainment of fairly high quality, but in a community theater production, right? And so they do 2 plays a year, one in the fall, so the one starting tomorrow night, Land in Winter, and then the other one is it's in April, correct? I think so. Yeah, it's in April, yeah.
Adam, what brought you to Phoenix Players? Tell me a little bit about your theatrical
well, I'm
background.
returning to acting after I studied it pretty seriously as a teenager. I came back to it the last couple of years. I always kind of wanted to get back into it.
Nice.
In my older age. And I found, I'd been living in Ottawa for 16 years. I teach at Carleton.
Okay.
And I found that actually to be a community actor, to do it as a hobby, there are so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And I must have watched the old Lion in Winter movie with Peter O'Toole and Katharine Hepburn when I was a young actor 16 times.
Really?
And so, yeah, I love that movie. It's a master class of actors.
So why? What? I mean, obviously the acting I can understand because there's some of the biggest stars ever. But what about what intrigued you about the story?
The dialogue is gorgeous. It's so witty and so beautiful and so lyrical. Yeah. And the theme is universal, right? It's a holiday play. We're coming under the holidays.
Yeah.
It's a family drama, getting together for the holidays and doing the things that families do, maybe amped up a little bit.
I was going to say, don't give away the show.
There's literal stabbing in the back instead of metaphorical stabbing.
So maybe some people's families. Who knows?
Who knows?
Andre, how would you describe the role that you're playing?
So I play Queen Eleanor.
Oh my, okay.
Yes. So Katharine Hepburn had that.
Yes.
Big shoes to fill, yeah.
She
only won an Oscar for it.
You give her a run for her money, though.
Yeah, She only won the Oscar for it. But yeah, she, so I've been reading a lot about Eleanor, actually, and she's a very complex woman. There was richest woman in Europe back in the Middle Ages, and she owned all of Aquitaine. Incredibly strong women, have many children, 2 kings, married 2 kings, Queen of France, Queen of England, and had 2 kings' sons who became king, and daughters who married extremely well in royal families. But and she went on crusades. I mean, a woman, she insisted.
So is this based on historical facts?
Yes, it is.
Right?
Now the actual conversations that take place probably never did.
Yes.
Okay, it is a play.
Yeah, I don't think they were that funny back then.
But it is historical. No, it is historical.
Right.
And so, yes, the sons, Richard Lionheart, which is Adam, and my other sons as well, they really existed. The Duke, Geoffrey was the Duke, and King John as well, that was her son. So and of course Henry II.
Yeah, Adam, tell me a little bit about your role. How would you describe
so I'm a 26-year-old Prince Richard. I will grow up to be King Richard, who famously goes off on the Crusades. And I'm the eldest surviving son, so I really should get the crown. And mostly through the play, I want the crown, I want the crown, I want the crown. And it's fair because I'm the eldest surviving son. But Daddy, for some reason, is holding it against me that Mummy and I actually conspired to kill him and overthrow him.
What's the big deal?
Some people hold on to grudges, but that's my story.
Don't understand.
It doesn't understand.
Andre, it sounds like you've been on the show before, but I mean, just describe how much fun is it to be a part of something
something like this?
Oh my God, this is probably the biggest role I've ever had,
Really?
by the way.
Okay.
How many lines? Oh my God.
So many lines.
Really?
For her.
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Okay. It's
unbelievable. But yeah, just the historical part of it, learning all of that, and the cast. I mean, it's great cast
Nice.
as well. It's been so much fun. So
What
much
are you?
fun.
What are your? What's your trick or advice you would give to young? We have two young theater people. Waiting. And I joked about my memory being 55 now, but do you have? But honestly,
my
the
memory's
memory's
a little older than yours.
Yeah. So how do you go about memorizing lines?
Well, I think, and we were talking about that, the more you practice, the more you rehearse, the more it sinks in. The other way I do it is that I actually write them down. So I will read, let's say, Henry's line or Richard's line, and then I'll write down mine, so that hand and brain coordination seems, seems to work.
20 years in television, I handwrite every single thing down to this day. So I certainly understand what you're saying.
It does work. So that's one way that I do it. I don't know if how you.
I sort of like to memorize the intention. If I know what the character wants, then the right words will come. So I like to think that way too. What does this character want right now? And if you believe that they want it, you will say the thing they have to say.
And
those tricks.
I was going to say, you talk about the particular time period too. How do you bring that to life through the set and costuming?
Oh, it's a beautiful set.
Wow.
You should talk about some of the pieces we have.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we have sort of a pagan Christmas tree that you have to, it's wonderful. And the furniture, it's very limited though, the things we have, although they did a beautiful stained glass, I'm not going to give it away, but beautiful stained glass piece that's there as well. So it's not heavily populated with furniture, if you will. The costumes are absolutely
and I don't
beautiful.
think you need it with this style. And you mentioning, Adam, the dialogue and how brilliant it is.
That's
right?
true.
That the characters, I think, really lead this show completely.
That's true. We do have some lovely handcrafted wooden thrones, king and queen thrones, donated to us from Kannada Theatre.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Beautiful, and we have a suit of armor in the lobby. So the spirit is there.
Yeah, and the costumes were also from Ottawa Little Theatre, because Phoenix itself, their home is Gladstone as far as offering the play, but we rehearse in different location, and of course we don't have good storage.
I'd love to hear that. I did not know that. The sharing of community theater and props and costuming.
Even the NAC at times.
That is amazing.
Well,
what a pleasure having you back, Andre, and meeting you, Adam. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
The Lion in Winter, the Gladstone Theatre, November the 15th to the 23rd, my friends. Evenings at 7:30. Matinees November 16th and 23rd, 2:30 p.m. PhoenixPlayers.ca. We'll talk a little more theater coming up right after the break.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Trio Financial Planning, helping individuals and families live today and build for tomorrow. Branton Renovation is pleased to support this episode of Daytime Ottawa. Branton Renovations, Ottawa's award-winning renovations team.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give. It's a wonderful way to learn all about the charities and nonprofits in this community that are changing and saving lives. Look forward to seeing you then.
This episode of Daytime Ottawa is brought to you in part by Dustin Design and Drafting, your first step toward building your dream project with a team approach. Daytime Ottawa is proudly supported by Mary's Must Read Book Club. Follow Mary on social media at Mary K. Taggart for her latest book club picks.
Back to talk theater again. If you have never seen To the Woods, whether it's a theatrical production or in film, it is an amazing, unique story that combines so many recognizable characters, and Canterbury High School is putting on their rendition of Into the Woods. I am joined by Cooper Dunn and Winnie Unsworth. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
And Winnie, this is a really unique story. As I mentioned, it combines a lot of different things. You explain it to our viewers how this storyline works.
Yeah, so basically, I would say like all of these characters, right, like all of the fairy tales mashed up, like they go into the woods to get their wish, but it's really like about morality and like finding like good and right, and in the woods like there is really no sense of morality, you could almost say that. So it's like what will you do to get your wish, like how far will you go to get your wish, and yeah, I would say.
So Cooper, when we talk about these fairy tales, what characters come into play into this production?
Yeah, so we have some pretty famous fairy tale characters: Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Rapunzel, Cinderella's prince, Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk, characters like that. And I think it's a really special show because it's all these like old classic fairy tale characters, but beneath all of that, the show has layers, and
there's also characters like the witch and like Baker and Baker's wife that aren't really like typical fairy tale like stories, but have its components. And
it's amazing how they weave all of these characters into one story. I mean, it just blew my mind when I've recently seen one of the productions. So Winnie, tell me about your role. What character do you play?
I play Baker's wife.
Okay.
And like she and the baker cannot have a child because of this curse placed on their house by the witch, and so like she wants a child so desperately, so they are going to the woods to make a potion to get their wish. And my character is like, I would say maybe she's an immoral person, an immoral character. She doesn't really care what she has to do to get the things. She doesn't care if she has to tell lies. She doesn't care if she has to steal things or take it from someone else.
Because she's in a desperate situation too, right? She's desperate to have a child, and so is her husband, of course. I mean, he's a little bit more, has a few more values, I guess. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say that.
Cooper, what character do you play?
I'm the baker.
Oh, you are the baker, so I'll let you explain it then.
Yeah, so we spend a good chunk of the show together, obviously, because we're married.
Oh, I think we have a microphone issue. Who, me? Okay. I'm probably squishing it. There we go. All right, go ahead, Cooper. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, we spend a lot of the show together, but not all of it, happy married couple. We're, we fight in the show. We make up in the show. We go through a lot together, but it's fun. There's, we kind of, as Winnie was saying, we're trying to make a potion to get our wish. So in doing so, we have to get these objects, which leads us to meet like Little Red Riding Hood.
And you get quite emotional, don't you, as your character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My character really goes through it. He goes through a nice, I'd say, little character arc. Starting the show, he's, he obviously
he cares a lot. Like he doesn't want to lie or to cheat to get their way, but then he realizes like maybe this is like the only way that we're going to be able to get what we want.
Let's talk about costuming in the set because from my understanding, you guys have done a really special job with it. Who wants to tackle that side of things?
Well, I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have so many people involved in this production, like not just on stage, but so many people off stage. I'll just talk set. We have the most beautiful set. Our set designer, Ocean Wendler, she really outdid herself. We have a tower, a big tree. We have flats. It's really special. It's really amazing.
Very cool.
The trees are all the way up to the ceiling, and you can't really see where they end.
Nice.
And they're all paper mache with branches, and it's really amazing.
What kind of time commitment has this been for you and the group and the cast and even everybody combined?
Huge time commitment.
It's such a big time commitment. We started auditions last spring.
Wow.
Obviously, summer break, you kind of halt, right? But people like stage managers or our directors or the people who are doing the music, like obviously work through the summer, and then starting the first day of school, mostly every day after school we're rehearsing.
Wow.
Right now we're rehearsing till 10 p.m. at nighttime.
We're leaving here and going back to school for our
rehearsal.
Okay.
So because we open in 1 week, so things are like getting really tight. But it's been a really big time commitment. Like they basically say, like if you want to do this, like you have to be fully committed. You have to be putting this.
Understandable, because the last group, Phoenix Players, it's volunteer theater, but when people go to see this, they will be amazed at how professional this production is, right? My understanding too, Cooper, is it's a lot of craziness on stage, like a lot of changing around, and that I guess makes it a very unique experience for you guys as actors as well, right?
Definitely, but we're really lucky. We have really amazing lights and sound and costumes, which really helps tie everything together.
Yeah, there's our costume designer, Aoife Swandel, had to do like lots of quick change. Like the witch has this big transformation where she's like on stage. So that was one of the biggest things to kind of yield around, because it has to be like the audience has to visibly be seeing her transforming into a beautiful
as Whitney
woman.
said, it starts in a week's time, so it's a short run, so make sure you get your tickets. November 21st to the 23rd at 7 p.m. and then Sunday, November 24th at 2 p.m. CanterburyArts.yabsody.com. Say that 5 times fast. We'll be back with more right after this.
For me, the end was just the beginning. I felt I must come. If I did not come at once, it would be too late. And these places that are watered with the best blood of Canada might only be names and memories. I see it in the soldiers, the grief I know so intimately. And I will not abandon these men to it. The isolation wears on me. Slowly, the silence takes over, as if my heart has given out of air. I cannot talk. I can only paint.
For more than 2 years, Mary Ryder Hamilton painted the battlefields of the First World War, creating an unforgettable visual record of service and sacrifices at immense personal cost.
Let's review those fantastic productions that are coming up. Again, The Lion in Winter by James Goldman, happening at the Gladstone Theatre, which is, by the way, an absolutely beautiful, very intimate theatre. If you've never been and experienced a production there, it's fantastic. That is running November 15th to the 23rd, evenings at 7:30 p.m. And there's matinees November 16th and 23rd at 2:30 p.m. PhoenixPlayers.ca to get your tickets for that. Into the Woods, Canterbury High School. That's where it's happening and being put on, of course, by the Canterbury High School students, November 21st to the 24th. Again, November 21st to the 23rd at 7 p.m. And then they have that Sunday matinee on the 24th at 2 p.m. CanterburyArts.yabsody.com. I'm sure if you go to Canterbury Arts, if you just look that up, you can find it as well. Into the Woods again. Adopt a Senior Pet Month at the Ottawa Humane Society. Again, waiving some of those fees if you adopt a cat over the age, I believe it's 7 and over, so it's a great opportunity to get that forever home for a beautiful cat in your family. OttawaHumane.ca, and you can find out about all their volunteer opportunities and see all the bios on all those fabulous pets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Daytime.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello everyone, my name is Kwadwo Karamantang. I'm an ICU physician here in Ottawa, and I'm so excited to bring to you our latest show, Solving Healthcare with Dr. K. We're gonna tackle some of healthcare's biggest issues, and more importantly, we're gonna talk about ways to leverage preventive health. How do you avoid seeing someone like myself in the intensive care unit? And this show is exclusive on Rogers TV, so please tune in. You guys are gonna